Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Double Coverage. I'm Ben Frederickson, this is Dustin Dopirak, Tennessee football beat writer. We're here to preview Arkansas State. Tennessee got that season opening win against Utah State on Sunday, 38-7. Great way to open the season. Now the Vols are back in action, getting back on with the regular Saturday schedule. They'll play Arkansas State at Neyland Stadium at noon. That game's going to air on SEC Network. We just wrapped up Butch Jones' press conference here on Tuesday and had some bad news for the Vols coming out of that. They're going to lose a starter along the offensive line for the rest of the season. Jacob Gillum is out for the year.
It's very, very unfortunate. You know, I feel for him. I feel for his family. Here's a young man that I love him to death. Walk-on who earned a scholarship. He earned it. And it's very, very unfortunate, but that's football.
How big of a blow is losing Gillum to this team?
It's pretty significant. Obviously, they had to rebuild this entire offensive line, and you're not really sure, okay, how far ahead was he of anybody else that could play that position. But in terms of morale, it's pretty significant. I mean, this is a guy who's a fifth-year senior out of Farragut, grew up in Knoxville, obviously could have gone other places, decided to go to Tennessee, walk on, spent 4 years as a walk-on before he finally got a scholarship, wins the left tackle spot, finally gets his first start of his career, and his season ends. His career ends probably that day. And it's unlikely he'll be able to get a 6th year because he did have a sort of, I guess you would say, voluntary redshirt as a freshman. So it's unlikely that he'll play any more college football. Now they're going to have options to play there. Brett Kendrick, Dontavius Blair, Coleman Thomas, 3 guys that are going to have a possibility, a chance to win that job, and they'll have open competition. They've all played, some first-team tackle, whether it was on the left or the right side, in camp in spring and stuff like that. They've had opportunities, so it's going to be a pretty good open competition. It probably won't kill them, but it's just still a significant guy to lose, a guy that's really battled through a lot to win that job.
Yeah, we talked a lot about how this line had to replace all of its starters from last season. Now you're 1 week into the season, and one of the guys who'd become a new starter is down. I think a big question mark is Dontavius Blair. I mean, junior college guy, was a big-time recruit, comes in now, and he has not been able to get a starting spot. Now the pressure will be on him even more. I mean, junior college guys who come in and aren't able to contribute right away, they're usually looked at, they're kind of labeled bust. So is he going to be able to progress and be able to contribute as they thought he would be when they recruited him? That's going to be a big question moving forward. Also heard Coach Jones today. I mean, pretty good game. He didn't have a lot to pick at in the loss to Utah State, but he was unhappy about a couple things. One of those things being special teams. He didn't like what he saw across the board. Tell us a little bit about what he had to say.
Yeah, no, I asked him. He said, I didn't like what I saw from special teams. I asked him, was there any specific unit? He said all of them.
All of them. All of them exceptionally disappointing. Everything starts with operation time. Our punt was too long. Our field goal execution was too long. Didn't like our coverage on the punt team. Kickoff team. The kickers didn't do a good job of placing the ball in the box. They sprayed the football, which really put your coverage team in some very challenging situations. Our kickoff return team, we didn't maintain our blocks. We didn't play in space very well. A couple times we had some field returns. We've changed our scheme a little bit this year with some little nuances, and we weren't able to get the ball back to the field. So there was a lot of things.
So basically there was more or less nothing he was happy at on that end, even though, again, they got the really big play.
Yeah, I was also not impressed with how they ran the ball against Utah State. He mentioned that, in his eyes, a good run is 4 yards. 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12 is what he had to say. But, Tennessee couldn't even do that on Sunday. They averaged 2.8 yards a carry. Arkansas State's a pretty tough run defense as well, so that will be another test for them, especially now with the news on the offensive line. Are they going to be able to get a push and be able to get some yards on the ground? Looking ahead to Arkansas State, we talked a lot last week about how Tennessee had struggled against mobile quarterbacks. They did a good job against Chucky Keaton. Now you can say, was this guy 10 months off a knee injury? Didn't look to be moving around quite as effectively as he had in the past, but they're going to see a lot more running out of the Arkansas State quarterback. Tell us what we're going to see from him on Saturday.
Yeah, Friday night, the way Butch Jones said, there's a lot more sort of designed run game. I mean, Keaton obviously makes some plays with his feet, extends plays, scrambles, keeps a play going, but there wasn't necessarily, you didn't see a lot of, quarterback option game. And that's not going to be the case for Arkansas State. Freddie Knighton's going to run around a good bit, and he's a really dynamic guy. Had 82 touchdowns his senior year of high school. That's just unfathomable. I don't even know how you do that in 14 games. That's nuts.
Yeah, it'll be a good test. A lot of containment on those ends. Those guys are going to be able to keep him from getting outside, keep him contained. It'll be interesting to see on Saturday. That'll do it for us. You can follow all of our coverage this week on GoVolsExtra.com. Also want to remind you, if you have questions about the team, anything you want answered from us, shoot it our way on social media through Facebook or Twitter, and we'll answer it every week in the Go Vols Extra Q&A.